What's going on? For the podcast. It's freezing cold here in South Florida, and I love it. 54 degrees at 9 o'clock at night, and it's the best. I love it. Everybody around me is everybody at work. There's at work right now. Everybody's at work talking about, oh, it's so cold outside. I'm cold. Like, dude, it's 50-something degrees. You're not in freaking Wisconsin, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop complaining about the cold. It's not cold. This is great weather, dude. You get this maybe, once every, like, twice a year? We get, like, maybe a couple of cold fronts like this? Everybody's bitching about it? Like, come on, man. Like, stop. Like, at some point, you gotta just grow up, man. Take it on the chin. Nothing wrong with cold weather. It's dark. If you can't see me, I'm sorry. I'm right down in a dark area on the road. I actually want to do this actually at home, but I don't have any time doing the shows at home. So, power rankings. I got my top 10, bottom 5. My thoughts on LeBron and Wade's last go-around, is it legal to do this? Actually, put a light on while I'm driving. And by the way, I hope my phone doesn't fall apart. Like last night, I was trying to do a show last night, and my phone literally fell to the ground while I was driving. So I don't know. I hope this holds up. We'll see. And I got something to say about Twitter losers who like to go through people's old tweets, just cause. Especially people in the business, in media, in journalism. I got something to say about people who do that kind of bullshit. Gotta stop, okay? Grow the fuck up. Alright, so, top 10, bottom 5. Week 14 was probably the most entertaining week of the year for me, for everybody else. It was great. Lots of upsets. And to some degree, it may reflect on the rankings this week a little bit. It may reflect on it. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe you don't agree with the rankings here. But let me do the bottom 5 first. The bottom 5, because let's get the losers out of the way. The losers of the NFL right now. 28, Buffalo. 29, Niners. 30, Oakland. 31, Jacksonville. And 32, Arizona. Jacksonville's down on this list because of the fact that they've just fallen apart. And the very fact that Cody Kessler is actually your quarterback, and their quarterback for that matter, is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The Jaguars will have a lot of cleaning to do this offseason. We already heard rumors about Blake Bortles won't be back next year. They're probably going to end up trading Jalen Ramsey because that's one of the best assets they do have. So, which would be smart, I think. And not because he's not good enough, not because he talks a lot either. It's just the fact that if you're going to rebuild, you know how it goes. You got to trade your best asset and let it fly. So, the Jaguars have now made the bottom 5 for the first time this year in this year's power rankings. The top 10, the best 10, 1 through 10. So we go 1 through 10, 10 to 1. Let's go 1 through 10. Fuck it. Number 1, New Orleans, back at number 1. With a great comeback in Tampa, which cost me money, by the way, because I had a 14 parlay, which they did cost me money, unfortunately. 2, Kansas City, with a great performance by Pat Mahomes. I thought that 4th and 9 they throw to Tyreek Hill was one of the best plays of the year, honestly. I mean, that kid is incredible. And look, we were doing the podcast today with Kyle Nash, my buddy Kyle, on Earnestly podcast, talking about if that throw and that performance might possibly clinch the MVP, Pat Mahomes. I'm not going to say definitively, but if there's a case to be made. I think Pat Mahomes, if anything, for the last couple weeks, people are saying Drew Brees is the MVP, Drew Brees, and maybe he's still in the conversation, definitely, but I have to be honest with you, I think Pat Mahomes took the lead after week 14. And if he plays again a great game against the Chargers this weekend, this Thursday rather, in 2 days, I think he will most likely close it out and win the MVP. 3 is the Rams. Disappointing loss to Chicago. And I gotta tell you, the Rams, the Rams are lucky. The Rams are very lucky. They don't have to play outside of LA in the playoffs. They are pretty much locked into a bye week, and even if they have to go to New Orleans, they'll be in a dome. So don't worry about playing Chicago or Seattle or any of those cold weather teams. They'll be fine. But there's something to be said with the Rams that, watching the game against Chicago on Sunday night, something to be said about the Rams and how different they look as a team in warmer climate versus playing in Chicago, and we know how Chicago is in December, especially. It's blistering cold. Jared Goff did not look comfortable at all on Sunday night. So I think there's something to be said about that, honestly. But the Rams are lucky they don't have to play any cold weather games. Now, unless they fall apart in the last 3 weeks, and the Bears somehow make up ground and not only, obviously beat the Rams this past week, but also steal the bye week. I doubt that happens. I doubt the Bears will win out the year. I think the Rams will bounce back this week, especially. But it's something to be said with the Rams and them playing in cold climate. 4, I have the Chargers. Huge game this week against the Chiefs on Thursday night. I can't wait. In fact, I'm so excited about the game that I normally record podcasts Thursday nights. I typically record podcasts Thursday nights, so I can put on Fridays. I decided this week not to even schedule any podcasts. I just want to have that night clear so I can sit and watch that game. It's also the last Thursday night game of the year. We've had some pretty good games this year, for the most part, on Thursday night football. I'm not a proponent for Thursday night football. I actually don't really care for Thursday night football, mainly because of safety issues. But as a product, I have to be honest with you, the last couple of years it's gotten better. I can't complain about that. 5, the Patriots, the Miracle in Miami. Something about the Patriots coming to Miami. Something about it. It's a real thing. But the Pats, they look old. The defense looked kind of shaky on Sunday. Look, I'm not writing them off, but there's even Tom Brady, who's still phenomenal, greatest of all time. There are moments now. There are a lot more moments of Brady now this year that Brady looks old, and there was moments in that game against Miami where he just looked like he had a couple blunders. You can argue that some of Brady's mistakes in the game cost him the game, like the before the half when he took a sack and the Pats left at least 3 points on the board. You can argue that was on Brady. So it's still great. Look, Pats fans don't get in a tizzy. He's still great. Love the guy, but I'm also calling like I see it. 6, the Bears. Again, huge performance against the Rams. My only concern with the Bears going forward is this, and we know defenses travel well. We're clear about that. However, Trubisky, can we trust him in the playoffs? I am still on the fence. I see flashes at times, and then I see, you can't trust that guy. We'll see. They'll host a home game, and they're gonna win the North. So, but that's my only gripe with the Bears. But they deserve to be number 6. They play some good football right now. 7 is the Texans. 9-game winning streak got snapped by the Colts. Texans had I guess a brain fart game. I mean, they're due for a loss at some point. 9 games in a row after starting 0-3. They're due for a loss at some point, so you can't really hold against them. But the thing with the Texans that really sucks this week too for them is the fact that had they won the game, had they beat Indy, and given the results that played out in the New England game, Houston would be the clear-cut number 2 in the AFC. And because the Pats beat them early in the year, week 1, they need that switch. So they lost opportunity there. I don't see the Pats losing the game rest of the year. 8, the Seattle Seahawks. To me, the most dangerous team in the NFC outside LA and New Orleans. You got a top 5 quarterback in the league, solid defense, running game is back. Seattle could be a problem. I'm not saying they'll make the Super Bowl, but if they got somehow run good and go to the Super Bowl, it would not shock me whatsoever. It will not at all. So that's number 8 for the Seattle Seahawks. 9, the Cowboys. Again, the Cowboys, great win against Philadelphia. They're going to win the NFC East, obviously. There's a guy behind me. What is he doing? Okay. 9, the Cowboys. My issue with the Cowboys is this. You look at the Eagles game. They look at all the numbers. Third down efficiency, they were 10 for 19. Phillies, 1 for 9. Total yards, they had nearly 500 yards. Philly, 200 and something. And yet, it took overtime to beat Philadelphia. I'm not saying Dallas is not a good team, but the margin of error in these games are pretty small. Finally, number 10, Indy. Again, Andrew Luck is back. You got to give him credit. He's definitely MVP conversation. He is definitely most improved player of the year. No questions asked. So, there's your top 10, bottom 5 for this week, week 15. All right. LeBron and Wade, last game last night. What a classy! Look, I gotta shout out Laker fans and Lakers Nation and the Lakers in general. Classy, and look, me being a Heat fan, especially too, it warmed my heart to see this. Wade got 3 ovations coming to the game, tribute video, end of the game. It was very classy of the Lakers organization for a guy that means so much to this community here in South Florida. Dwayne Wade has been, to me, look, we can argue who's the greatest athlete of all time in Miami history, Marino or Wade. It's neck and neck, really. I mean, I would say Wade because I think Wade's impact, forget championships, but the impact he's left here, it's been tremendous. The Big Three era, of course, and bringing the team's first championship in 2006. It's great. And I think Dwayne Wade means so much. I'm not even knocking Dan Marino what he's accomplished here, but Dwayne Wade means a lot to this community. And to see the Lakers, and not only Lakers, even the Clippers fans on Saturday when they played on Saturday, give Wade the respect he deserves. He means a lot to this community. And I hope other teams start to do this now, because it's been a very somber season for the Heat so far. Now that they've started with this road trip, 2-1 so far. I asked for 3-3. They get one more win. They get what they need. But seeing Dwayne get honored by the Lakers yesterday was really, really cool. And they didn't have to do over the top like that, but they did, and it's really, really cool. And LeBron, of course, LeBron and being there is special. Whatever you may feel about LeBron leaving here 4 years ago, it is what it is. At the same time, he still brought 2 championships here. It's a special moment. They're still brothers, and it's fitting because people forget, and I'm glad the media today across the board, FS1, ESPN, all reminded folks that. And LeBron is phenomenal, top 5, maybe top 3 all the time. But he learned from Dwayne Wade in more ways than one how to win, not just on the court but off the court. Dwayne didn't need LeBron. I mean, he needed LeBron to win some championships to add to his portfolio, of course. But when LeBron got here in 2010, Dwayne was already a champion. So in a lot of ways, Dwayne helped LeBron as a big brother, showed him the way how to win, and LeBron took it around with it. In fact, he took the same format to Cleveland after he left Miami in 2014. So I'm glad that the media really, look, I love LeBron, but the media does always tend to go overboard with the exaltation of LeBron James, and I'm glad people reminded folks how much Dwayne Wade impacted LeBron's these last 8 years of LeBron's peak to the top of the basketball mountain, and Dwayne Wade was a large part of that. So I'm really glad the media took the time out to remind folks of that, how important Dwayne Wade was to LeBron James' growth as a player, as a person, and just the comfort that he gave. Because, I mean, think about it. If LeBron is going to Miami, what happens? He may get a championship or 2, maybe, but the narrative would be different. It would be totally different. So Dwayne Wade, I'm just glad the Laker fans and the Lakers were able to honor Dwayne the way, look, again, I'm a diehard Heat fan for 30 years. Dwayne's our guy, and I'm just glad he was able to get honored the way he deserves to be. All right, finally, before I go, I'm almost home. Got to put the kid to sleep. I got pizza waiting in the oven. I'm tired. I'm hungry. So. But finally, Twitter losers, and this is a thing now apparently with people where whether it's journalists, old I guess influencers, what I call it, on social media. There's a thing now where people like to go look for old tweets from popular players, athletes, actors, comedians, or maybe go through their old tweets from 6, 7, 8 years ago and expose them. This the gotcha society now. All of a sudden, social media is now all about gotcha. And I was bothered by Kevin Hart thing, obviously. Now, Kevin Hart, whatever you said, and whether offensive or not, I mean, it was obviously not something I would like to hear him say. But it was also 7 years ago. I mean, at some point we got to stop judging folks based on who they were 7, 6 years ago. I mean, especially if, and in this case for Kyler Murray, the Oklahoma quarterback who won the Heisman Trophy, who deserved, by the way. In this case, Kyler Murray is 21 years old, and I heard someone said it was a guy. I think it was either Scott Gleason when some guy named Gleason, last name Gleason from USA Today, found tweets from 6 years ago when he was 15, 14 years old, saying the word queer. I'm like, what are we doing here now? Like, what are we doing in society? Like, we've come to a point now where, and Stephen A. Smith was right today on the first day. He was right. It's almost inhumane, or it is inhumane to see folks just dive into old tweets just to expose folks, because that's what journalism is today. Apparently, we want to expose folks because we need something to write. We have an agenda, whatever it may be, and it is sad. It is fucking sad. And I was pretty clear about that on Saturday. I made a tweet, that basically is this: if you have time to sit there and look for old tweet, or sift through old tweets, which takes hours and hours to do, just for the record, especially if you're an engaging Twitter person, then basically you're a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser. And it's just sad that we are now in a society where this is accepted now, and people are okay with that. Like, it's sad, bro. Like, get a life. We need to stop judging folks based on their worst, based on who they were 5-6 years ago. I'm not even saying what Kevin Hart said was right or wrong. I mean, clearly it's definitely something. It's questionable at best. So what he said, but I mean, 6 years ago. I mean, come on now. Let's stop. I mean, gotcha moments. Gotta stop. So, all right, almost home. I'm gonna go home, get some pizza, and get to bed. Maybe put in a show. Maybe put in a TV show tonight. We'll see what happens. We'll be back tomorrow. Another pod. And till then, love you guys. Take care.